This church is familiar with Ephesians 4:11. And we tend to focus on 11, 12, and 13. Ephesians 11, 12, and 13. He gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors and teachers, which should be together. I don't think you can be separate, pastor and teacher. It should be together. For the perfecting, the equipping of the saints to the work of the ministry. For what purpose? For the building up, the edifying of the body of Christ, till we all come in the unity of the faith, and there's that conjunction, and of the knowledge. Some people make a mistake and say, and, as if to say, and the knowledge of the Son of God, as if to say it's sufficient to say, I know Jesus. But you come to the knowledge of the Son of God by reading His Word. You come to a knowledge. It's one thing to say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and you meet somebody in introduction, oh, I met so-and-so, but you never get to know more than the acquaintance. The coming to the knowledge of the Son of God unto a perfect man, unto the measure, the stature, the fullness of Christ, that we be no more children, tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men, cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. That you might know something. I'm not unaware of what goes on in most places. A lot of churches today, people are deceived. Just tell everybody it's easy, it's all good. Riches are yours, things are yours. Have you, in 6+ years, have you heard me make you any promise that God's going to bestow material things on you? No. Now, do I believe that God can bless people materially? Yes. But if that's your first focus, you need glasses. God says very clearly, through and through His Word, we need to get to know Him. We begin a relationship with Him. He can bless. I'm not going to engage in that which to me would be self-evident, that if God so chooses to do something in your life that is the tangible and the material, over and above what His Word declares, that's between you and Him. He must know that you're a good steward, that you're trustworthy. That's between you and Him. And that's not to say that I wish for everybody to be poor and be miserable, but a delicate balance. And I said here that we be no more children, tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men, cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive, but speaking the truth in love. And that speaking the truth in love sometimes comes across as coarse and sharp. But you'll know what it looks like. You'll know the spirit in which it comes. Now, somebody who wants to massage you to hell by telling you soft and soothing words repeatedly and never even bringing you to the brink of self-awareness is like saying, again, one of these silly analogies that breaks down, but if you were to go work out with weights or do exercise, at some point you know you've done something when your muscles hurt. And at some point, you will get to a level where that which at the beginning hurt you or caused muscle pain, then after a while you do it with no problem. And you must keep progressing or keep moving through to a greater challenge, to a greater intensity to develop. It's the same thing with God. Speaking the truth in love, but speaking the truth in love may grow up into Him in all things, which is the head, even Christ, from whom the whole body fitly joined together, compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, not some part, every part maketh increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. Now we've yet, and I've yet, to talk about that. There's a lot of Christian ooey-gooey stuff that is, again, it's more of a deceptive mindset that has not yet come to the realization that nothing we do on the exterior, that we are trying to give an idea or to present ourselves as loving, that's not the love of Christ. There's something that's going to happen to the inner man and to the inner person, which in that framework will become the building up, that congealing unity that is looking toward the love of Christ, which Romans 5 says is shed abroad while we were yet sinners, drawing men and women. And we cannot have that same mindset without reading this and understanding there is that calling, that unification process, that now when we say we are joint heirs with Him, some inner working is developing that which to you may not look like it, but to Him certainly does. He's beginning to recognize me as I begin to be conformed to His image and likeness as that person, that deposit, that nature that's been placed inside of me. But the saints were not called to just sit and stew. The birds are, feed me. Food is to be taken and masticated and hopefully properly digested, and some elimination may occur after consumption, but it's for the strengthening of the body. This is serious to me. And I said this to you, and I'll repeat it again. It bears repeating. I've suffered my own humiliation. I'm grateful for it because it's helped to shape my being and my understanding before Christ. There's nothing, I think, worse to be put on a person than to say, let's pick a vocation outside of my own, a calling outside of my own. You're going to be selected to go fly a plane. Yeah, you're going to go fly a plane. You'd say, but I don't know how to fly a plane. Well, get in and figure it out. Go fly. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, you've got a plane full of passengers. It's like that. And I look at the spiritual care in the same dimension. God knew what He was doing. I didn't really fully understand, or maybe wasn't fully aware that God would take and mold and shape. But in the process, you have to suffer a little bit of what I've called humiliation, which is your own deficiencies, your own inabilities, that you might come to rely and depend on His ability, on His strength, on His provision, on His guidance. And that is how every man or woman of God is made, by those experiences.
To this house, magnify the Lord, lift up holy hands, our hearts in one accord.